Hey, this is AJ, and I think I'm going to switch things up a little bit, and I'm going to start doing a series called Job of the Week, where I kind of talk about the big job that I did, one of the bigger jobs that I did this week, and kind of start from the beginning. How did I get the job? How did I bid the job or estimate the job? How did I gather everything I needed to complete the job? How did the job go? What happened after the job? So this week's job, it was a big job that I acquired probably maybe a month ago, month and a half ago. Somebody reached out and said, hey, I have rotting deck beams that I want you to come over and take a look at. So I went over, took a look at the what they had. They had those hollow, like the engineered beams, which I'm not a big fan of. I like the solid stuff. But on the bottom, it was all rotted out. And this is a common thing if you ever worked on this kind of stuff. You're supposed to have some type of separator between the ground and the post, and a lot of the older houses just don't have that. So they were rotting out. And the family just felt uneasy using the deck. It was holding up a second-story deck. So I went over there, I took a look at it, said, yeah, let me go back, run some numbers. And so I came back, and I'm like, man, I don't know what this is going for right now. Like this kind of job is difficult because it's one of those jobs where I'd say it requires a lot of skill and discipline. So that requires a premium, right? When you charge for a project like that. So I went to HomeWise on this one. I went to HomeWise post replacement, and they were saying anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to change a post out. I was like, wow, maybe it's more involved than I thought it was. So I did a little bit more research, and it's not that involved. There's a couple things you need. You need a post jack. Actually, I have mine right here. Since it was a tall deck, I needed one that would go up about 9 feet. This post jack is actually only 8'4", so I ended up getting some bricks to make it a little bit higher. But that was pretty much the biggest tool. Then buying the posts themselves. Unfortunately, where I'm at, they don't sell. So I used a 6x6 pressure treated, and they don't sell them in 10-foot lengths. It's either 8 foot or you have to go to 12. So I ended up having to buy 3 12s, and luckily I just happened to be doing something else with a big box truck. So I threw them in the box truck, brought them home. I cut them to rough size at home. Then I was able to transport them with my normal van the day of the job. But, so a month and a half out, I show up and do the job. And this is one interesting thing. This kind of job normally requires a helper just because these posts are so heavy. So when I was there, I forget how it came up, but the husband said, hey, I'd really like to learn. Is there any way I can help you out? And he's a big, strong guy, and he's actually a retired military. I'm a prior military guy. So I said, yeah. I said, tell you what. I said, because I got to hire a helper anyway. I said, if you want to be my helper, I'll take that money off the top. And I think I said $115. I'll take $115 off the top. And he's like, yeah, that's great. I'll learn and save some money, and you don't have to hire a helper. So that's what we did. I ended up having this guy help me out. So I show up that day. This guy was fantastic. Talk about a great helper. I was joking the whole day. I could have hired him because he was Johnny on the spot with everything. So he kind of followed me along, and the job itself is not that complicated, right? You go over there, you jack up right next to, so the beam is right here, just a few inches over. You put the jack up. You get a lot of pressure on there. You get enough to lift out. And a lot of these posts, they'll just kind of come out by themselves. In this case, it wasn't fastened to the ground at all. It was just fastened to the top. So once we got it off the ground, he could pull out the bottom, and then I could just sawzall off the screws and the nails holding the top, and then it was a done deal. So that was the process of throwing them in. It wasn't really that difficult. It wasn't that challenging. Total material cost between the beams, the galvanized pieces that I use on the bottom, a couple other fixtures, screws and whatnot. Let's say $400. What did I charge? I charged $1,500 for this. And how long did it take me? It took me 3 hours. So I'll go ahead and I'll put a video in here, just a quick time lapse, kind of showing you what the job looked like. So stand by for that. Okay, so you saw the time lapse, and this is my second point about making this video is as you're doing things like this, keep in mind that somebody else that lives around you needs the exact same job done. And they've been thinking about it for a while. And the purpose of a video like that is to remind them, oh, I need to do that. Oh, this guy can do that. I'm going to call him. So that's the purpose of these time-lapse videos. And if you throw a little music in there, you put them on a Facebook reel or YouTube, it kind of sells itself. And you're already on the job anyway, so why not just videotape and film those things? So that's what I did. After I was done, I went and I posted this video as a Facebook reel, which seems to be pretty popular these days. Put some music to it, got a lot of response. I shared that video in a local community group that allows me to share on business days, and I'm already getting requests for that type of job. And I don't do this job very often, but when I think about it, I'm like, man, this is a pretty good moneymaker, right? Because I would made what, $330 an hour if you figure it out that way, based off of my time there and the materials and whatnot. So it's a pretty good job if you're looking for something that you can do, where you can make some decent money. This is my job of the week. I would highly recommend it. Watch. You have to be comfortable with this kind of stuff. Don't buy cheap stuff. Don't cheap out on the jack or any of that kind of stuff. Get the right stuff. If you haven't done it before and you're like, oh, I just don't know, go with somebody else who has done it. And you'll do a couple and you'll be like, oh, it's not that difficult. It's not that challenging. Just make sure you buy the high-end stuff, that you use the proper fasteners, and you take care of business. And the final note I'll make on this is the customer was ecstatic, because it was a big safety concern in their mind. So the deal that I gave them was a fantastic deal. They thought they got a bargain. I made some decent money on it, and everybody ended up winning. So that's my job of the week. Hopefully you like it. If you like these kind of videos, it really helps me out if you hit the thumbs up button. I'm still trying to figure out YouTube and how to grow this thing. Apparently that's one of the bigger ones. So if you can put a thumbs up, if you can share this with anybody you think might be interested, it really helps me out. Anyway, thanks for your time. Appreciate it, and stand by for the next one. Bye.